Good morning and good evening. DUTERTE power also for President DUTERTE. Do the right thing, be safe, and God bless. So, what is the news? I mean, lots of things going on back home in the Philippines, and at this moment in time, good news and what is going around is about Canada. Canada is becoming famous in the sense of garbage, garbage importing, and it has been done for quite a while. So, the only thing is I don't get is um, this garbage. This 130 containers has been on the port from 2013 and 2014. Has been told Canada has been told to be taking this garbage back, and they haven't done nothing about it. This is like from 2013 already. So how many years is that? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18, and we are in 2019, so going into, let's say, 5 years to 6 years. Okay, this garbage has been on the Philippines around 5 years, going into 6 years. Nobody ever has done anything about this garbage. 130 containers of garbage, and Canada, it was continuously importing garbage to the Philippines. Okay, fine, but is a lot of questions over to be asked. Is a company involved on this, which the company is not taking responsibility to getting all this waste from Canada? So Canada is not gonna also, you know, import garbage to the Philippines without having a consent from someone, yeah, who's in control of the ports and who's in control of where they will go into, well, the land where they're gonna dispose it. They're not gonna know what that garbage is gonna come from, because it's gonna go in containers or it's gonna go into trucks, and then it's gonna be going into the landfills. So nobody's gonna know where that garbage come from. But the big companies who's dealing or who done the deal with Canada, why they put themselves is not their fault. Why they are saying, they haven't done nothing wrong. How is that? Someone also from government had to agree for this rubbish to be imported from Canada to the Philippines, wouldn't it? I'm assuming somebody must give authority, through government for these companies to ship the garbage from other countries into the Philippines. And by the looks of it, it's supposed to be clean garbage, like, let's say, recyclable bottles and plastics, and also that's most of clean recycled stuff. That's not the case, is it? It's all households garbages which has been disposal for people who lives in Canada, on their countries, even from our own Filipinos who lives in Canada. Probably also their rubbish is going back home to the Philippines. So without you knowing it, without our Filipino people knowing it, who lives in Canada, their garbage is going back to Philippines. So it's like, are we trading over here? We're trading workers, Philippine workers, to work in Canada, and we're trading the workers for rubbish. It's one of those things. Anyway, I just want to even think about it. Things like that. But, and a while ago, if everybody remember, it was last year, this, what's his name? The guy from Canada visit Philippines. He's a young guy, probably younger than me, and all kind of stuff. Um, he's the president of Canada, showing off around that, blah blah blah, getting to the Philippines. Nice, of course, powerful, have rich car and all kind of stuff. Stopping Jollibee just to say, yeah, I just stopped Jollibee, all this political shit and blah blah blah, and stops in Jollibee, buys this stuff, this, that, and then goes and meet our president. Like, everything's so cool, everything's great, this, that. And the only thing also I don't get it is, how come only now we become to deal with this garbage? which it has been there for over nearly 6 years, sitting there for 6 years. Nobody ever done anything about it. Why just now? Exactly. It's a lot of things we can ask. Why just now? Why this containers has been just open now? Because this garbage has been there. Who knows? I just want to give an example. When you travel through the airports, you cannot take meats, you cannot take any kind of fish, you cannot take any kind of most of some kind of plants or sometimes some kind of fruits. You cannot do that. You cannot take it with you, right? Because that's illegal and this and that, blah blah blah. Because you can bring it, diseases into the country, you can bring any sickness into the country, and things like that. So we're not allowed to take things through the airports, things like that, which is clean, and we know where we take those things from. But on the airport, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take it. How can we allow other countries? It's not only Canada. I'm not gonna say it's only Canada who's doing this, because I know some other countries who's importing, even the country am in, they're importing to Brazil, from here to Brazil. Their garbage they're importing from here to Brazil. And I'm sure it's not only the country I'm into. I'm sure also other countries doing it. But to do this, it has to have a permit. It has to have an agreement with some kind of government to allow this to come into the country. So it's not something like myself, I'm thinking, do you know what, I'm going to send all my garbage back to Philippines or to somewhere else, and then just pick up containers and send it there. And then when it gets to the port, somebody has to be responsible to pick those containers up. Somebody is getting paid to deal with those containers. So the company is dealing with that, is saying they're not doing nothing wrong. How are you not doing anything wrong? You're getting paid. You've done a deal to receive rubbish from Canada into the Philippines. So why now you want to put yourself out? These companies and Canada should be, penalized. We should give them a big fine. I do think they should pay us more than $2 million for all these damages and everything, and all the disease which is coming to the country. Disease and sickness and all that kind of stuff. Who knows what it has been brought in to our country in the Philippines, and what kind of disease we already have floating about. Do you know what I mean? So I do think our President Duterte should penalize Canada, take back your rubbish, as he says, what else? And still, the company who's dealing with Canada and approved this, and someone in the government, I'm sure someone in the government knows about it, has been dealing with it and has money going into their pockets. And for me, of course, as we know, there's always been corruption. Only now, because DUTERTE is a new cowboy in town, like I said, and he's the one who's dealing with this. So for a lot of Filipinos everywhere and all kind of stuff, what you thinking about our president? 6 years these containers has been sitting on the port of Manila, and nobody ever done anything. Our president is in power going into 3 years, and this just comes to light, and what he's doing is deal with it, take this back, or else. And for me, we should charge them. We should charge Canada, the company who's responsible for this, and whoever else is responsible for this, to be penalized and to have a heavy fine of over $2 million to pay us as damages. And who knows what kind of damages and diseases and so on who come into our country through those dirty containers, and people get sick, and those sickness floats around, and millions of people can be sick because of that. So is it wrong, our president telling the Canadian president to take it back and do something about it? And then a while ago I was watching the news and they said, oh, we're taking a lot of Filipino people, is a lot of Filipino people living in Canada. Who gives a shit? Who cares if a lot of Filipino people living in Canada? What this has to do, you guys sending your garbage to the Philippines. Do you think our Filipino people, they are garbage? Is that what other countries think? Our Filipino people, they are garbage? For you guys thinking you can dump any rubbish over here. US was thinking also the same thing until President Duterte come in and then start putting things correct. Because a lot of countries do abusing Philippines. Why? Aquino was not doing shit. Aquino didn't give a shit about the country. Aquino didn't give a shit about the people. And that's how it went. Corruption been going on for, what, 40 years? Until only one man just come in and corrects everything. And then people tried to penalize him for this and for that and extra killings and all this kind of bullshit. If it wasn't for our president, our country would still be the same thing. Nothing has been changed. Nothing has been done or building or constructing or making it better. It will be still the same shit. And this garbage, 6 years sitting over there, come on, this is ridiculous. This is out of this planet. So what I wanted to say is, I do hope they do something about it. I do hope also our President Duterte do penalize the company who was dealing with this and Canada also. And I do think we should charge them over 2 million pesos for damages, and whoever knows to disinfect, which they already been doing it, disinfecting those containers. But they have been there for so many years. Who knows what kind of disease already float around and move about and things like that. Because, if you guys know, in Australia, if you import things from whatever you're going to, even if you yourself bring in anything in Australia into Australia, any animals and this and that, you're destroying the environment. Okay? So we have tons of rubbish sitting on the port for 6 years. And even before the 6 years, how much rubbish came already from Canada, and who knows, from other countries also. Only just now we just find from Canada. But we might find out as we go along. We might find out there's more rubbish coming in from other countries into the Philippines. And who's responsible for this? Nobody knows now. Nobody wants to put themselves forward. Oh, who approved this? Nobody knows it. Are we going to know this? It's up to our President Duterte. And I do hope our President Duterte finds out, penalize the company who deal with this, penalize Canada for what he was doing, and then the cheeky little piece, whatever, coming to Philippines with that kind of cheeky face and then shaking the hand of our president and knowing it, they are sending their garbage into the Philippines and coming to pretend and licking their ass. They are good allies of the Philippines. It's like I said it years ago, they are allies of us, the same as US, for their own interest, not for the Filipino country, not for our own benefits, for their own benefits. Nobody gives anything to anyone without any benefits. Do you understand that? And that's what countries do, and what presidents from other places, they try to just politics. Some people, they care about money. Some people, they care about things and all that. You give me, I'll shut up. I'll give me, I'll shut up. Our President Duterte is not like that. You give me and I shut up. He doesn't give a shit. He has his own money. All everyone can see is, I care about my country. I care about my people. Nobody is gonna fuck about with my own country. And this is what I'm telling you right now. So for now, that's why I love this guy. And he's one of the best presidents. We have a few presidents which I like. Putin. I like Trump. Doesn't matter whatever, still Trump is one of the best. From Nora Hagen, Trump is still one of the best. But number one is our President Duterte. He's the one who showed the other ones who has balls. For now, Duterte power, always support President Duterte. Do the right thing. Be safe. God bless. And please, if you want to comment in my video, great. If not, all cool. It doesn't matter. It's my opinion. That's what I think about also, what's going on. And I do love our country and our people, and I also want the same as our president do. So, cool. Peace. Goodbye.